I welcome you to the lecture series on Introduction to Cybersecurity. And today our topic is functions. Before starting this lecture, I want to ask you one question that what do you understand by the term function in your programming language and why we have to use function in your programming languages. Okay, so to comment it so that I get to know that you guys are all aware with these terminologies, programming terminologies, and I hope you all know about that. And I want to tell you one thing that I'm very happy with your answering comment and comments means the answers you have given me about the questions that I have asked in my lectures. They are very correct and you have put very much effort for that. And I really appreciate that. Well, give it up. So coming to the today's lecture's topic, functions. Functions that are being called by the portable executable gives us in-depth understanding about its workings. And you know, three different types of linked libraries. Similarly, we have two different subdivisions of functions, and they are import and export. Import functions. Imports are functions used by one program to link to code libraries that contains the required functionality and they are stored in different programs. Obviously, we are going to import some, you know, codes, previously inbuilt codes that are kept in some different libraries, and we need to import those libraries so that we can employ those functions. Okay, and they are our imports functions. You know, PE file headers also includes information about specific file functions. They are used by an executable, and name of those Windows functions can give you a proper idea about what the executable does. That's why we have to know, or we have to have a knowledge about the names of some important import functions, because these names will give you a proper idea about what the executable does. Without knowing that, you will not have an idea about the functionality of those executable files. Okay, then we have export functions like DLLs and EXEs. Export functions to interact with other programs and code. Okay, why we have to means use export functions? Because you know, DLLs and EXEs export functions to interact with other programs and code, and because of this interaction actually we are employing these functions. Now DLL implements one or more functions and exports them for use by an executable that can then import and use them. Then P file contains information about which functions a file exports. DLLs are specifically implemented to provide functionality used by EXEs. Okay, and if you discover exports in an executable, they often will provide this important or useful information. That's why you should also have an idea about these export functions. And in many cases, software authors name their exported functions in a way that provide useful information. And also I used to say the same thing to my students, that try to give the names or identifiers name in such a way that they will give information to the outsiders also. Okay, so these names will give you important information regarding the functionality of those functions. Therefore, the names of exported functions are actually of limited use against sophisticated malware. Mind this line. Why I'm saying so? The names of exported functions are actually of limited use against sophisticated malware. Okay, if malware uses exports, it will often either omit names entirely or use unclear or misleading names. That's the reason why the previous statements exist or comes. Okay. So malware, if they use these functions, they will either omit the names entirely and or may use some unclear or misleading names so that you cannot catch them. Okay. So these are the import functions and export functions information and why we have to know them. Okay. So coming to today's questions, and these are the reference. Okay, and today's questions for this lecture are: first question is why we should have an idea on import functions names. Okay, next question is that what idea you'll get by knowing the export functions. So these are the questions for today's lecture, and I hope, like always, you'll put your effort to know them and do note them and do comment me your answers. So meet you in the next lecture. Till then, take care. Bye bye.